So for my management interview, I interviewed Andy Schumann, who is the Director of Digital Initiatives and Personalization at JD Sports Finish Line. And then I interviewed Maya Klingscales, who is a store manager at the Finish Line in Fort Collins. Both are managers that I've worked with. Andy, I worked cross-functionally when I interned in Boulder 2 summers ago, and then Maya for a brief period of time when she got transferred up here from a store down in Denver due to her prowess as a leader and as a visual merchandiser. I kind of chose him because in similar circles, Andy is someone who I would love to work with. His team works really well with personalization and the marketing with JD. I found out through my interview that he has the same degree as me, which I thought was pretty cool as far as what path I'm taking, and then using him as a tool to facilitate growth in my future. And then Maya, a lot of that was ease of how I knew I could get an interview with her. I think it's cool to notice the differences in situations that led them to become leaders. Andy talked in his interview a lot about how when he was younger, he always sought out positions of leadership, whether that was like sports, school projects, just being in class, trying to push himself to the front of the classroom, kind of leading by example, which I really liked, and that really spoke a lot to me and reflected on who I try to be in my times as management. And then how, in contrast, Maya never sought out positions of leadership. She pretty quietly spoken, still extroverted, but not to the point of looking for leadership opportunities. And that was something that in her upbringing, she kind of talks about how she didn't look to become a manager, whereas Andy did, and Andy reads books about it and how to get better. And Maya had a series of circumstances that aligned, and then managers above her that supported her pursuing those roles, and thought that with the advice and tools that they had given her, that she could further that that as a leader. So and I think that also speaks to the differences of personality. Andy is super outspoken, wants to get things done, very objective driven, but also so much of a conversationalist and looking to build a team. Whereas Maya, it's cool to see how much more objective based she is, and like maybe not so much of a leader who looks to like build a family, but more to build a unit. And I can speak to kind of that as I've had both of them in positions of power above me. Like and then as far as where I would align between the two, I think I definitely follow more under the footsteps of Andy. I haven't read as much as he has. He actively tries to be a much better leader for his team, and I respect that and want to help Maya implement those, as I'm still pretty close with that team and her. And then the last thing that was cool to see is how their passions help build their teams. I feel like both of them work in teams that, the better you can get along with them, the better you can get along with their team, the more things that they can get done as a group. So that was cool, and it's cool to have both of those people in my pocket to call on for future positions, hopefully.